Hello everyone, myself Sravanthi, working as an assistant professor in Department of Data Science and Cybersecurity in MLR Institute of Technology. Today my topic is first time follow. So we are going to discuss here in this video first definition, what is follow definition and what are the examples of the first time follow. So first, what is the first function? Here what we are going to do here in first set is nothing but we are going to find the non-terminal contents. So first, what is a terminal? Terminals are nothing but the small letters, lowercase letters, or any expressions like plus, minus, open, close, brackets, all those comes under the terminals. Non-terminals are nothing but the uppercase letters. So those comes under the non-terminals. So coming to here first set. So what is first is nothing but a non-terminal contains all the terminal symbols that appear in the string. For example, I have a string A tends to A, B, C is my string. Then what is here we are going to calculate the first function for the RHS part. Nothing but the first of A. If I tell first of A is nothing but the what are the terminals that are present after first of A? Nothing but exactly right to this function. Nothing but after A, if I find a terminal, then the first of A is small letter. If suppose I don't have A, then I have B. Nothing but first of A is a non-terminal. Then again we are going to derive this non-terminal. So that is nothing but first set. Here see, the first set of a non-terminal contains all the terminal symbols that appear at the beginning of the string. At the beginning of the string derived from the non-terminal. See here, A is a non-terminal and exactly A tends to A, B, C is my string. Nothing but is my production or the grammar. In a grammar, this is my production. Here exactly right side a string is appearing. If initially the first letter is having a terminal, then we are going to tell that is the first of a function. First of capital A. Suppose if I don't find this, then we are going to apply some rules over it. So that is the thing here. That can appear at the beginning of any string derived from the non-terminal. In other words, we can tell that which appears expanding the terminal. Expanding, we are going to expand the non-terminals, we are going to expand until when we are going to expand these non-terminals until I get a string, the given input string. Until I get the given input string, we are going to derive that string. So that is nothing but we are going to expand the non-terminal until I get a terminals. Until I get terminal. String is consisting of only the terminal symbols. Either it can be the operators or it can be lowercase letters or anything. So nothing but it consists of only a terminals. Coming to the follow. Follow is nothing but a non-terminal contains all the terminal symbols that can appear immediately after the non-terminal in any derivation. So nothing but the difference here is the follow function will appear in the right hand side. Nothing but here see A, B, C is there. If I want to find the follow of B, nothing but exactly preceding this B, if I find any terminals, that is nothing but my follow of B. If I find a non-terminal, then again I need to apply the rules over there. So that is the thing here. Immediately after the non-terminal in any derivation, immediately after this non-terminal, if I find a terminal, then that is nothing but my follow of B. We are going to calculate the follow function for the right hand side and we are going to calculate the first function for the left hand part. Nothing but here first of A is nothing but exactly in the right side. The first one, if I find a terminal, that will be my follow first of A. So then coming to the follow function, we are going to calculate for the right part preceding that non-terminal. After non-terminal, if I find a terminal, that will be my follow function. If I don't find the non-terminal, then I will be applying the rules to find the terminals until I find the terminals. So that is the difference for first time follow function. So what are the rules to calculate the first function? So the rules to calculate the first function. If when x is a terminal, nothing but here, for example, when x tends to A. So what is the follow of x? What is the follow of x? Sorry, first of x. First of x is nothing but exactly to the right hand side, the first one what I am having. It is a terminal, then right. If it is a non-terminal, we are going to derive it until I get a terminal. So what is follow of x? First of x is nothing but A. First of x is nothing but A. So if x is a terminal, if x is having a terminal, then first set simply, since a terminal always starts with itself. If x equal to A, first of A will be A. We are going to write it in a flower brackets. We are going to write it in a flower brackets. We are going to represent it in the form of a set form. When X has only one production rule of type, it's a combination of terminals and non-terminals. It's a combination of terminals and non-terminals. If suppose I'm going to have this type of function, this type of production in my grammar, then the first set of A is the first non-terminal character. Here what I'm having, A tends to small a b. What will be the first of A? First of A is nothing but in the right hand side, whether I have a terminal. Yes, I have a terminal. So that is nothing but my A tends to AB is nothing but A. Is the first of A function is A. Where after terminal, if I find non-terminals also, we are not going to disturb those all. The first string, in the string, the first letter is a terminal, then we are going to write that as my function. So first of A is nothing but small a. First of A is nothing but small a. When X is having a single word, nothing but single production, that is of terminal, directly we will be writing it. When X is having one production of type, combination of terminals and non-terminals. If suppose the first letter is my terminal, then that terminal will be my first function. The next, when X has multiple production rules, when X is having the multiple production rules. So these are my some production rules in my grammar. A tends to AB, A tends to B, A tends to epsilon. This is nothing but epsilon. If this is my grammar, then now I need to find what is first of A. What is first of A? See here, if I am having multiple productions, what is the rule? If X is a non-terminal, for example A or B, the first X set includes all the terminal symbols that include be the first symbol of any string derived X. This means each production rule of X you look at to find the first symbol. See here, I am having three productions. All these three productions are having same non-terminal. Then I am going to find the first of A. First of A is nothing but first of A. First of A. What is first of A? In my first production, what I am going to get first of A is nothing but the starting letter I am having is terminal. So nothing but terminal A. Next, first of A. In my second production, what I am going to have B is my second one. Coming to the third production, A tends to A produces epsilon. What I am having? Epsilon. So nothing but first of A, I got three things. A, comma, B, comma, epsilon. We are going to write it in the form of set form. Okay. So when X is having multiple productions, we need to check all the multiple productions over here. And we need to find it. So this is nothing but the third rule. Then fourth rule. When X is a string of non-terminals, here we have seen multiple productions. Multiple productions are nothing but I am having the first one, nothing but for which one we are going to calculate, that is nothing but multiple productions. In the LHS side, we are having multiple productions of same letter, same function, same non-terminal. Coming to here, when X is a string of non-terminals, nothing but in the RHS part, I have a non-terminal combinations, multiples are there. When I am having A, B, C, for example. If X is a string made up of terminals and non-terminals like A, B, C, we start with the leftmost symbol and use its first set. And we use its first set. To compute first of X, we look at first of A. So what it is, we will see here. X produces A, B, C. But I need to calculate first of X. I need to calculate first of X. What I am having first of X is nothing but A. First of X is nothing but I am having A. A is nothing but what it is? It is a non-terminal. So if I find a non-terminal, we are going to find what we are going to find? We are going to find the first of A initially. Okay. If I find a non-terminal, we are going to find that non-terminal's first function. What I am having here A. So let me find out first of A. What I am having first of A? First of A is nothing but A is a small letter A is nothing but it's a terminal. Epsilon is also a terminal. So A, comma, epsilon are my first functions of A. When I apply over here, when I apply this first function over X tends to A, B, C. When I apply these two things over X tends to A, B, C. What I am going to get? In the place of A, initially I am substituting A, B, C. Initially, in the place of capital A, I am substituting A. So what will be first of X? Is nothing but A I got. I got A. Next, I'm going to substitute epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but empty. Epsilon is nothing but empty. So, the second one I'm going to substitute is epsilon. Epsilon BC is nothing but what it is pointing? BC. It is pointing to BC. So, first of X. What I'm having here? Nothing but X tends to BC I got. What is first of X? Again I have B. B is also a non-terminal. Now, for these non-terminal, again we need to find the first of these non-terminal. We need to find the first of these non-terminal. If it is a terminal, directly we are writing. Now, if it is a non-terminal, we are going to find out the first of these one. So, what is first of B? What I am having first of B? First of B is B comma epsilon. B comma epsilon. Because these are, or is nothing but there are two productions. It tells us that there are two productions. How I can write this one? A tends to A tends to epsilon. Similarly, I can write B tends to B, B tends to epsilon. Two productions I have written in a single statement by using OR operator. Okay, B comma epsilon. Now I am substituting B over here. Nothing but what I am having, X produces BC. First of X, what I am going to get here? Small b. Nothing but here I got A. Now I am going to get here B. I am going to get here B. Next, the next case I am going to substitute X produces epsilon. Epsilon C. Epsilon C is nothing but what it is? X produces C. Again C is also a non-terminal. Now again I am going to find the first of capital C. What is first of capital C? I am having C comma D. C is a terminal, D is also a terminal. C is a terminal and D is a terminal. Directly I am writing C comma D. Now again I am substituting in the place of C, one times small c, one times small d. So what I am going to get here? X produces C, small c. Next, nothing but first of X is what I am going to have? C. Next, X produces D. Nothing but first of X, what I am having? It is a small letter, nothing but terminal. I am going to get D. I am going to get D. So now what are the values? What I am going to get for first of X? First of X is nothing but initially I got A, then I got B, then I got C, then I got D. A, B, C, D is my answer. First of X is nothing but A, B, C, D. So, if we have multiple non-terminals, then here if I get a non-terminal, then we are going to calculate first of that non-terminal. Then that values are going to be substituted in the place of A. And if I have a epsilon is nothing but it tells us it's a empty. So nothing but see here. X produces A, B, C. X exactly in the right hand side, the first one I am having is A. That is a capital A. Capital A is nothing but it's a non-terminal. Then I need to calculate these non-terminal. First of A. First of A is nothing but A comma epsilon. A comma epsilon. So first initially in the place of capital A, initially I substituted small a, then I got A, B, C. So first of X is nothing but I got A. The next time, in the next case, I have substituted in the place of capital A, I have substituted epsilon. Epsilon I have substituted. Epsilon is nothing but empty. So this is nothing but I am going to get BC. X produces BC is nothing but X produces, what is first of X? I am having B. B is also a non-terminal. Then we are going to calculate the first of B. Then we are going to calculate the first of B. What I am going to get? B comma E. B comma E. Then these values are going to be substituted over here. So in this way I got A comma B comma C comma D. So these are the rules for to calculate the first function. To calculate the follow function. To calculate the rules to calculate the follow function. When X is the start symbol of the grammar, suppose I am having in my grammar, there are many productions are there. X tends to, S tends to, S produces A, B, C, A produces small a, B produces some capital A, B, C, something, some statements, some productions are there in my grammar. So, what it is telling us, the start symbol will hold $. Nothing but in my whole production, in my grammar, this is my start symbol. So, the start symbol will hold $. Not all the statements, only the start symbol will hold the dollar. With including the follow functions. Including the follow functions, it acts as one more statement, one more value, that is nothing but the dollar. When X appears before a terminal, when nothing but non-terminal appears before a terminal, what it does? When X is followed by a terminal symbol in a production true, the terminal is added to follow of X. Example, A produces A, B, C. Follow of B. B is followed. Nothing but what it is telling us, nothing but X is followed by a terminal. So here I am going to calculate in my string A produces A, B, C. Now I want to calculate follow of B. Follow of B. Follow of B is nothing but I told the follow function we are going to concentrate on the RHS part. The first function we are going to concentrate on the LHS part. Okay, so now follow of B is nothing but after B, what we are going to have? That is nothing but which one it is following. The non-terminal is which one it is following. That is nothing but follow of B. If it is following a terminal, directly I can write terminal. If it is following a non-terminal, then we are going to write, based on the rules, we are going to change it. Okay, see here, follow of B. B, C. B is followed by C. B is followed by C. C is what here? Non-terminal. So, nothing but follow of B is having a C. The first rule is, we should have the start symbol should have the dollar, and the second rule is, if a non-terminal is followed terminal, then that will be my follow of B. The third rule, for any production rule, A tends to alpha B. A tends to alpha B. Follow of B is equal to follow of A. See here, in this rule, after B, there is no non-terminal, there is no terminal. So, nothing is there is nothing but it goes to the LHS part. It goes to the LHS part. So, nothing but follow of B is nothing but follow of A. Follow of B is nothing but follow of A. If I have here terminals or non-terminals, that we are calculating. If I don't have anything after the follow of B, it's empty. Nothing but it's end of the string. Nothing but follow of B is nothing but it is a follow of A. Next, the fourth rule. For any production rule, A tends to alpha B beta. Alpha B beta. If epsilon does not belongs to first of beta, then follow of B is equal to first of beta. If epsilon belongs to first of beta, then nothing but follow of B is equal to follow of A. So, here the beta is pointing to epsilon. Suppose if beta is pointing to epsilon. So, now what it will be? Alpha B. Epsilon is what? Empty. Nothing is there. What I can write? Alpha B. So, follow of B. Follow of B means what I am having? Follow of A. Follow of A. Follow of A. Suppose here I don't have, if the beta is not pointing to epsilon, the beta is not pointing to epsilon, nothing but follow of B is nothing but first of beta. The follow of B is nothing but first of beta. See here, if epsilon does not belongs to the first of beta, then we can write follow of B is equal to first of beta. If epsilon is belongs to the beta, then we are going to do the follow of A. We are going to find the first follow of A. Nothing but first of beta minus epsilon. Union follow of A. So, these are rules. So, these are the rules to follow to construct any first time follow function. So, some important points, some notes are there. Epsilon will appear only in the first function. Epsilon will not be there in follow function. Epsilon will only appear in the first function. Only in first functions only we are going to find the epsilon. Epsilon will never appear in the follow function. Epsilon will never appear in the follow function. Just why? Because see here in the previous example, if I am having here epsilon, then I am not writing it's a epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but it's empty. So, what we are going to do, follow of B is nothing but, we are going to have empty is nothing but nothing is there. We are going for the follow of A. Follow of A. So, this is the rule we are going to follow. So, that's why epsilon will never appear in the follow function. Epsilon will only appear in the first function. Dollar will appear in the follow function. Dollar will appear in the follow function, but not in the first function. Before calculating, So when before we have a grammar, to calculate for the grammar first time follow function, we need to check whether the grammar is eliminated, whether it is free from left recursion from the grammar. Nothing but the given grammar is left recursion free. If there is no left recursion, then only we can calculate the first time follow function. No 3. So we calculate the follow function for a non-terminal by looking where it is present on the RHS of the production rule. Just now I told the follow function is calculated for the RHS part. The first function is calculated for the LHS part. The first function is calculated for the LHS and the follow function is calculated for the RHS. So what are the advantages over this? So to calculate or to construct LL1 parsing table or to find out the recursive descent parser, to do all these, we need to know what is first and follow. Based on these two functions only, we can calculate LL1 and predictive parsing table and recursive descent parser. These are the advantages of this first and follow function. This first and follow function is used in top-down parsing. In top-down parsing, it is used. So these are the some important points of first and follow function. So the overview is, so to construct the first function, initially if x is a terminal, then directly we are going to write the first of x. If x is having a production, then we are going to check the LHS exactly right hand side, the first string. It is a terminal, then we are going to write the first of it. If the first function is having multiple production rules, then we are going to calculate all those multiple production rules and we are going to write the first of that production, first of that particular function. If a string is having non-terminals, then what we are going to do is, we are going to find the non-terminals. So here we need to find initially each one's non-terminal, each one's first function. Then we can import there and we are going to find the first of that function. So these are some rules of first function. Coming to the follow function. The follow function will have the first symbol, the start symbol will hold the dollar symbol. And coming to the second one is, the non-terminal is followed by a terminal, then that will be my follow function. And the other one is, if a production is having nothing after the non-terminal, for example, A tends to alpha B, then we are going to find out the follow of A. If suppose I have something after the non-terminal, non-terminal is present, then we are going to calculate that one first of beta value. If first of beta consisting of epsilon, then we are going to eliminate that and we are going to write. If the first of beta is not having epsilon, directly we are going to write the first of beta values over here. So this is about the first time follow function and it is used in the top-down parsing. To calculate the advantages of these first time follow function is, it is used in recursive descent parser, LL1 parsing tables. Thank you.